we are together again on the radio. Many of you sent this story in, and I see why. This from the Chicago Sun-Times. As quickly as it appeared, it was gone. The salacious billboard that said the following: "Life is short. Get a divorce," with barely clothed models, was ripped from its Rush Street perch 1 week after it went up and 1 day after the Sun-Times reported it. By the way, what was the Sun-Times doing reporting on this? What's the story here? Is there something wrong with a billboard that says life is short, get a divorce? It's a good message. And putting pictures of barely clothed models on it reminds the guys why now is the time to get out. What's wrong with a billboard like that? It says here the story was picked up internationally, running on CNN, MSNBC, ABC's Good Morning America, even on The View. Corey Fettman is the attorney involved here. And supporters say, by the way, it was obviously advertising the services of an attorney. That's not the kind of publicity Chicago officials wanted as they seek to host the 2016 Olympics. Corey Fettman said they ripped our billboard down without due process. We own that art. I feel violated. Taurus of the 42nd Precinct, who leaves the city council this month after 36 years. Always a stickler for rules. The Taurus got a call about the sign and determined the sign company did not have a proper permit. Nothing but a mere technicality. The Taurus said, I called the building inspector, told him to do his job, and he did. It has nothing to do with content or anything else. Yeah, right. They did not have a permit, and they were ordered to take it down. Some neighbors resented the billboard, saying it would push Rush Street revelers in shaky marriages to divorce. Fettman said it would not persuade happy couples to divorce. Some lawyers said the ad sullied their already beleaguered reputations. Neighbor Lisa Price, a critic of the billboard, said, I looked out my window at 3 o'clock and it was gone. The neighborhood has been cleaned up. My peaceful view is restored and I'm very happy about it. But it says here, Fettman and her law partner, Kelly Garland, say even people who dislike the billboard should worry about the threat to free speech. Garland said this isn't just about us, it's about everybody's First Amendment rights to say what they believe in. Well, I'm just going to put it to you point blank. If a lawyer wants to advertise with pictures of barely clothed models, a message that says life is short, get a divorce, is there a problem with the ad? Is there a problem with that message? Should we be interfering with people who want to put a message like that out there? Isn't it true, as you hear many of the poor, sad sacks who call in here, that the message, life is short, get a divorce, is an effective one? It makes sense. It could very well get people to do what they know they should do. How many of these morons do I talk to and tell them if you don't get out, you'll be paying alimony forever? Once you get out, you get more ass than a toilet seat. Is there something wrong with advertising these facts?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
You're my general. You are the general for the army of men against the war for the pussification of men in America.
That's right. It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Let's go! It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That is our telephone number. The billboard said, "Life is short, get a divorce." And they found some technicality to get that billboard ripped down in Chicago because people were complaining about it. But joining us on the line from Chicago is Corey Fettman. She is founding partner and president of the law firm of Fettman, Garland & Associates. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now,
how are you?
I'm doing great. You don't believe this was some kind of a zoning issue, do you?
No, I don't, actually. How about you?
No, I don't.
I don't. I think it's politics.
I don't know if you've ever heard our show before or heard of it, but the message of your billboard is pretty much the message of our show to men who listen. We tell them that they should, certainly in California, where if you're married 10 years or more, you pay alimony for the rest of your partner's life.
Are you serious?
That is correct.
Wow.
Yes, and so
that's a death sentence.
Well, we tell guys to do a gut check at year 7 or 8 and make sure you're in this for the long haul, because if you stay past year 10, you might as well stay forever. And so this is an issue we talk about a lot, and I encourage many unhappy men and women who call this show that they should avail themselves of divorce and not worry about consequences like, well, for example, they're all worried about their children. And so many people these days have co-parenting arrangements and joint custody. It really doesn't make sense for your kids to see you miserable.
Exactly.
Fighting. And hiring a good attorney is something that, well, I have 12 attorneys on retainer for various purposes.
I'm sure you do.
And I've been divorced 4 times, so I'm well aware of the services of a good attorney. How did this all start? Tell us the story.
Oh, my God. You know, we're known as, we have the same kind of reputation as you. We're known as these gutsy women out here. It's an all-women's law firm, and we represent mostly men. About, I would say, more than 50% men. So we were sitting around one day and just talking about advertising and how boring it is and how law firms, you know, they have the little guys in the suits or the little women in the suits and how boring it is. And we wanted to do something different and something that depicts what we are, which are, you know, gutsy, aggressive divorce attorneys. So we just, you know, started bantering back and forth, and I had talked with some creative people back about 10 years back, and they knew me really, really well, and they knew that this was something that I could, you know, when we discussed it, that I could pull off. So, you know, we just went back and forth, back and forth. We actually did the photo shoots ourselves, so we own the photos, and the male in the photo is my personal trainer. So he offered up his services, and the rest is history.
Wow. Now, I imagine, I didn't see the billboard. I've only read about it.
You haven't seen it? You can just go on our website.
Oh, yeah, well, why don't you give us that address so we can take a look?
Sure. It's F, like in Frank, G-A, lawfirm.com. And if you click on press, we've got the ad campaign up there and where it was situated, which was down in the Viagra Triangle in Chicago.
Yes.
And there's a picture of it up of what it looked like when it was up there. But it's all over the news. Haven't you seen our billboard?
Now, you know what? I've only been reading about it. Of course, I'm a big reader.
Oh, okay.
And I've seen the story repeatedly on the websites of many of these news organizations. And also our listeners who sent it to us in droves. But here in L.A., we had a little fire we've been dealing with. And so I'm spending a lot of my time wondering if my house is going to burn down because I live in the Hollywood Hills. But anyway, so I'm assuming you had a phone number on there and the name of your law firm as well.
And our website also. And then it reads, well, we have, in Illinois, I don't know if you have the same regulations, we have to put the names of the attorneys on the billboard, on the advertising campaign. So that's on there also. And then it's then the statement, life's short, get a divorce.
Now, what kind of reaction did you get besides generating business for your firm? And I'm sure it did.
Yes.
Did people call and just explain their opinions about this billboard?
The phones have not stopped with opinions. We also have an email now that we set up just because we couldn't handle all the calls. With just a lot of positive, though. I mean, I would say, everybody's portraying it as negative, but on the media, but we've gotten mostly positive feedback from all over the country because I was on world news. So we've gotten calls from Colombia, we've gotten calls from Montreal, we've gotten calls from Italy, all over. I am imagining some of this is the Roman Catholic element in Chicago, people who object to the concept of divorce under any circumstances. Probably, but I'm not sure where it's coming from because when they call up, they don't tell me what religion they are. But, like, for example, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on here, but like Fox is portraying, the Bible thumpers are portraying us as Satan. There's these blogs all over the internet that says we're Satan. Really? I'm getting death threats. Well, I'll tell you what, if I could hire Satan as my attorney, I'd put him on retainer immediately. I'll put my ears on, okay? Wow. Not a problem. Satan. And you got to believe that the fact that the billboard's been ripped out could very well be even better than the billboard being up. Even though I'm concerned about the free speech element here myself. Exactly. Plus, we want to run this campaign. I mean, not that we're not going to run this campaign. I'm just absolutely... I'm still appalled at the way it happened. We had a crew from Good Morning America here, and that's how I found out about it. That's how you found out it had been torn down? Yeah, nobody gave us notice. So was there only one billboard, or was there a series of them? One billboard. Wow. 54 feet by 16 feet. Now, how ironic with the kind of behavior that goes on Rush Street. That people would not object to that, but they would object to this billboard. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, what a bunch of hypocrites, right? It's outrageous. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. My God. And so you represent men and women in divorces. Correct. And now also, every state is different. I imagine you've got an Illinois Bar Association, as we have in California. Correct. And I imagine there are certain rules and regulations for what you can say in an ad. Was that an issue at all here? Before we ran the ad campaign, we researched the rule, the ethical rules, and we actually got an opinion from the whoever licensed us. They have a hotline that you can call, and you can talk to attorneys there. And then we did some research ourselves to determine whether there was anything, the problematic with the ad campaign. And the rules in Illinois are that you cannot have false or misleading advertising. Right. And it's not. Yeah, we had a well-known, I won't name him because I'm sure he's litigious, that's what he does for a living. We had a well-known ambulance chaser here in Southern California who had TV commercials promising to win your case and giving examples of people who won specific amounts of money, implying that you were going to win $2.1 million like the one guy who rode the motorcycle that had the accident. Wow. He got stopped. Wow. By the way, they redid the commercial. Uh-huh. And they brought back the guy from the motorcycle. Uh-huh. And he was about to say that the lawyer got him $2.1 million. He said, he got me, well, you know the story. Great. How great is that? That's how they got around the Bar Association with that. But you guys, again, advertising has to reflect the way people live and the way people think. I'm in the advertising business. You're in the law business. I'm in the advertising and marketing business. Right. And when you run an ad for it to be effective, it's got to speak the way people speak, and it's got to say things that people actually think the way they think. And we're saying something that everybody wants to say. That's the problem. It's also thought-provoking. I mean, when you have a controversial ad campaign, there's two reasons to advertise. One, you want to get your name out there, and two, you want to have a message. And lawyers need to get with the times.
Well, I happen to believe there are many, because we talk to them, they call us. I happen to believe there are many people out there right now, married 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and marriage is just not what it was cracked up to be. They're in debt, they're miserable, they married a crazy person, whatever. And many of them, just out of inertia, they don't leave. They stay there. They're afraid it's going to be too much hassle to get divorced, going to cost too much money.
And then their whole life passes them by.
Exactly.
And then they're miserable.
Yes.
And then they say, and then they come in here and they said, God, why didn't I do this sooner? This whole load is lifted.
I'm still waiting for an attorney to use the old line about why does the divorce cost so much? You know that line, right?
No.
Because it's worth it.
Never heard that one, believe it or not.
Maybe that's your next billboard.
Exactly. Are you going to run our ad campaign then?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're not on in Chicago anymore, but I certainly would be.
Why not?
Well, you know, you want to give the station a call and find out, because we were on till a couple of weeks ago and now we're not. But I must say that I would certainly, if they were not officially accepting your ads, I would certainly have you on a regular basis just to get your message across, because I think it's a message people need to get.
I agree with you 100%.
Let's take some phone calls here if you don't mind. Would that be okay?
That would be wonderful.
Great, let's take them. We're talking with Corey Fettman. She's the founding partner and president of the law firm of Fettman, Garland & Associates. They're based in Chicago. Their billboard said, "Life is short, get a divorce." And it's been torn down. They claim it's some arcane zoning reason that it was torn down. But we all know it's another violation of our free speech. That's what's going on here. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number if you'd like to talk to Corey. 1-800-5800-866. Eleanor on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. Nice to see you. Nice to hear you, actually.
I'm sure it is.
I was calling to let you know that I didn't see the advertising, but it drew my boyfriend's attention. He saw it on TV, and he couldn't stop talking about it. He was just describing this beautiful couple who, on the ad, and I wanted to let you know that divorces are so expensive nowadays.
Pardon?
Divorces are so expensive?
Divorces are so expensive nowadays.
Oh, it just, you know what, that's not necessarily true. It depends on how reasonable the people are, and, the more unreasonable and the more litigious, the more expensive. But there are quite a few that, people resolve it.
I see. Yeah, my boyfriend actually is trying to get a third divorce, so your advertising did actually caught his attention, so it worked, it totally worked.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Eleanor, thank you for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Here comes James on the Tom Leykis Show for Corey Fettman. Hello.
Hello.
James?
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
You busy over there?
No, I'm still on hold.
All right, hold on. I'll find Tom for you, okay? From Hollywood, it's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Our guest is Corey Fettman. This is James, the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Yes.
How are you, Dad?
Doing okay, son. How are you?
Oh, man. You know what?
Corey doesn't know, but this is the son I never had, James.
Yes. Hey, listen,
James.
you know what? Right now, I'm going through a divorce after 9 months of marriage. And I asked my lawyer, what can I do to protect my two properties? And the first thing that he asked me, do you have a child? I said, no. And you know what the first thing that he told me? He said, there is a God that loves me. Dude, that's the first thing that he told me. There is a God.
He's got a sense of humor, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Very nice. 9 months. That's almost a new record.
But, I think that freedom of speech thing, I think it's all politics,
Thank you.
And then, from when I was growing up and, at school, what we learned, the USA, America was, built based on freedom of speech. What happened to that?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, what happened to the freedom of speech? I think the politics sucks just like George Bush.
You got it.
Yeah, it really sucks. Politics, it sucks. So, you know, and then this is like, it's real bad. You know, it's real bad.
I agree.
But, yeah, I hope...
Yeah, well, Tom, they have the Olympics coming here, too, you know.
Well, I know the Olympics, they're all worried about the image of Chicago.
Right, so it's controversial, and there's all you know, it's gotten world press,
let's be realistic.
Got the international bid out.
The Olympics began in Greece, okay, and we all know what they were like.
Hey,
divorce is the least of their worries.
Are you guys planning to put up another billboard somewhere?
Billboard?
We're working on it. We're not giving up.
How about one in
We're fighters, babe.
James wants to know if you'll put one up in L.A.
Well, if they're giving me a movie deal, yeah.
There we go. James, thank you for the call.
Thank you so much, James.
1-800-5800-TOM. Here's Jim on the Tom Leykis Show for Corey Fettman in Chicago. Hello.
Hello. Hey, this is a great ad that you guys are running. I don't see this as a free speech issue, though.
You don't?
No, free speech is speech. You can't make speech against the government. This is not a government issue. Get the right permit, put it back up. If then the government takes it down and you have everything in order, then you've got a free speech issue. Maybe.
No, I don't agree with you. But that's okay.
What the amendment, the Constitution talks about.
Pardon?
Well, let's get into the specifics of this as far as what you know, Corey. I mean, when they said that the sign company didn't have the proper permit, I mean, how long had this sign been in the area? How many times have there been billboards placed there before that hadn't been ripped out? I mean, I think that's the issue here.
These are things that we're investigating, but from what I understand, okay, from speaking with the Department of Buildings here at the City of Chicago, no one applies for permits here and use the technicality.
Right. Like maybe 100 years ago they required a permit, but nobody's been asked for a permit in all this time.
Right. It's like one of those unwritten rules that nobody ever does it.
Right.
And there was not even there was no... The media company did not apply for a permit, and there was no violation cited by the City of Chicago. They just ripped it down. There's a difference.
And was it the city that physically ripped it down?
Yes.
Or the sign? Oh, yes. So it was not the sign company. It was the city itself.
Yes.
Wow.
They were out there last night. I didn't even get any notification. The film crew called me. We were doing Good Morning America. They were out there filming, and they were like, did you know that did you order it taken down? I said, no, why would I do that?
Wow.
That's how we found out about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
All right, thank you for the call, Jim. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello to Joe on the Tom Leykis Show for attorney Corey Fettman. Hello.
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 Hi.
Hey. Hello, Dad.
Hello, son. I'm doing okay.
Hey, well, I was just calling. It's about the billboard. You know, I was in Chicago a little while ago, and they had billboards that were upside down all over the place, and that didn't seem to be a problem.
Upside down?
You never seen those? They had a bunch of them. They were all upside down, you know, and they were, I don't remember what they said, but they had put them upside down.
Well, in L.A., there were many billboards like that, including billboards for a popular radio station back in the 80s, where the billboard was routinely upside down.
Really? But they have billboards everywhere.
I mean,
they have billboards here.
I can't read upside down.
We have billboards here. There's a billboard here that's on the expressway that talks about threesomes. So, you know, why is this ad campaign even more controversial?
It's a good question. It is a good question. Thanks for the input. And, Tom, I just wanted to ask if you could give my buddy Ryan, give him a little heads up, tell him to DTB.
Oh, your buddy Ryan needs to DTB? Okay, DTB, of course, stands for Dump That Bitch. And that's DTB, correct. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's James on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello? James.
You.
Is everybody on Quaaludes today? I know I haven't seen one of those in a while.
No, I was getting a burrito. Any case, I just am in the process of a divorce after 8 months of bliss. And I'll tell you what, I'm 43 years old. She was 26, 27, something like that. I had all the numbers right, but a complete psycho, on and off medication and bipolar and this and that and everything else. And You know, again, I'm getting out lucky because we only had 8 months of marriage. It's California, no property, no kids. But God forbid if I had a kid with her. I'd put a gun to my head.
No, you wouldn't. You would do a Natalie Wood. You would take her on a boat.
I wonder how much divorce these screwed up laws deter out there, and how many people would be, particularly men in their 40s, who are finally making some money, would be single if at all they could be, if they weren't terrified, like it's communism or something.
No, but you know what? If you want to be happy, it's worth it. It's just what he said. It's worth it. You can't put a price on your happiness.
By the way, James, of course, I took some other measures. I've had prenups the last couple of times.
Yeah.
They were written in such a way that they were, as far as I was concerned, and the attorney who advised me, fair to both parties. And the bottom line was both sides were represented by counsel, and there was no duress. And now in California, it's very hard to knock one of those down.
Prenups are wonderful. They're wonderful. I've done post-nuptial agreements.
Going to the topic to the signed, I think it's absolutely absurd that you cannot have this signed in place. I mean, and you know, they would have to point to a technicality or, this faux zoning issue to, get it down. I would just get these signs up all over the place. Start throwing some money into that.
We're working on it.
Now, if you wanted to get this billboard up in another location.
Yeah, we can do it.
Could you do that?
Well, we can do it, but it depends on the media companies. Probably some of the media companies are not going to want to touch it based on what happened. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with bureaucracy also.
Yes.
So that's another battle. That's another topic.
No doubt, and I'm sure some of them are going to be squeamish after this incident, no doubt about it. Our guest, Corey Fettman, founding partner and president of Fettman, Garland & Associates. They're the law firm that put up the billboard in the Rush Street area of Chicago that said, "Life is short, get a divorce." What do you think about that?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
You're telling me that a guy that's totally a moron, an idiot, that doesn't know how not even to add, and they should get.
There are some complete morons who can do one job well.
Tom,
take the program director of just about any radio station, for example.
The Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. We're talking with attorney Corey Fettman. She's the founding partner and president of the law firm of Fettman, Garland & Associates. They're the law firm that put the billboard up that said, "Life's short, get a divorce." And I'm at your website, Corey. It's FGALawFirm.com. Where exactly would I find the pictures of the billboard?
Go under press.
Uh-huh.
And then it says ad campaign.
Got it.
Do you see that?
I've got it. I've clicked on it right now. And must be a lot of people on there because it's taking a while to come up.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get it hosted somewhere else now because of so many hits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
We're also we were on the front page of Yahoo and AOL with the photos too. If you wanted to click on there.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's just loading very slowly, so I have to imagine many, many, many people have logged on. We actually heard from some listeners who said they couldn't even get on the website at all.
Really? Why?
I'm imagining because of all the traffic. Keep in mind, we just gave out your address to several million people.
Thank you so much.
And so, of course, that's what happens if you don't have the bandwidth to handle it. And I have to imagine this might be the most traffic your site's ever got.
Gee, I wonder why.
All right, let's go to some more phone calls here for Corey Fettman. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Emma on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Tom.
Hi.
How you doing?
Great.
Okay, I have a message for Corey.
Yes.
Corey, your message is well said, but the content is not right.
Why not?
My opinion to your content should say, before you get married, come and see us.
Yeah, well, that would be a different billboard for another day.
They are the winners.
That's another campaign.
That's another campaign. We'll keep that in mind.
Tom, I'm 47 years old. I never been married. I called off my wedding 3 days before the wedding day, and I would never intend to get married. I'm very happily single with 9 years of my boyfriend being with me.
Very good.
Good for you. Good for you.
So we're happy. We don't live together, by the way.
Good.
Happiness is the most important thing.
Okay. Have a good one, Tom.
You too.
Bye, Corey.
Thank you, Emma. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Nehemiah on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Oh, that's good, man. First, I do want to thank you for being, one of the few radio hosts that actually speak their mind and don't fall into what a lot of other radio DJs do, and that's just to get ratings. I'm very happy that you speak your mind. And a lot of issues that you touch upon, I agree 100% with you.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, I hate those guys who only want to get ratings. They're the worst.
Who will want ratings, right?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Now, I think that they need to grow some testicles and put that billboard back up. Now, I mean, they have billboards that have half-naked people advertising cologne. They have billboards that are advertising tobacco, which kills millions of people. And yet something like divorce, which is actually helping a lot of people now get out of situations that they impulsively got into, now they're going to take it down because of a slogan like that, which is, I think, is actually very creative.
Thank you.
I think it was a genius marketing strategy.
Thank you.
And, I mean, I think that they need to put it back up.
I agree with you 100%. We're working on that.
All right, Nehemiah, thank you for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM.
We'll just go somewhere else.
Exactly. Adam on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's going on, buddy?
Do a little radio show here, Adam.
Oh, man, you guys are hilarious. I'm loving it right now. Hey, I just wanted to take a few minutes. I thought that, first of all, the marketing campaign by Corey and her little law firm there, I think is genius.
Thank you.
My question is, if they knew that this was going to happen, and that's really the reason that they did it, because they knew it was going to get bad press, and,
bad press is good press,
If we knew that?
Yeah, if this was the kind of reaction
we've gotten a lot of positive press, though. I don't know what you're watching. We've gotten tons of positive. Tons.
So I'm talking about, the people that tore it down. I mean, that's the negative press is what's getting covered, too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, the people who tore it down was the city of Chicago.
Yeah, it was the city of Chicago, and they have their own motivation.
Right.
So that's a whole separate issue.
Right. Well, either way, I think you're getting
controversial. That's good. Controversy is great
for you guys. I agree with you that they shouldn't have taken it down because I believe in free speech and all that good stuff, and I don't agree with the content, but that's okay. But I do think you do have the right to.
Wait a minute. Why don't you agree with the content?
Well, one of my beliefs is I have a strong belief in family and things like that, and I think that the sign ultimately, promotes divorce, where I think that, even if you have some hard...
People cause divorce, not lawyers.
Well,
how are we promoting divorce?
My opinion is that sign, says, hey, you know what? It's easier just to call us and get a divorce instead of trying to get some counseling and get some help. Just give it a call.
No, we're not saying that. We're not advocating rash or harsh decision-making. We're saying you need to think about it, and if you're unhappy, then you know what? Be honest with yourself. Have some personal integrity, and then come see us. We provide a solution.
I know, I understand.
We're not the problem.
You can see how, that's how I portray it. There's other people that see it that way, too, and that's why you're getting a lot of controversy and a lot of people don't like it.
By the way, Adam, I might point out that, I don't know if you saw the survey recently, from the census data, the U.S. Census, which has been taken every 10 years since the year 1790, for the first time, the majority of American homes are headed by an unmarried individual.
Correct.
Also, for the first time in history, a majority of women are unmarried.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you believe that family is important or keeps the country together, or marriage keeps the country together, whatever it is you told Dean when you called in. Well, if that's true, why are the majority of households headed by unmarried people?
Right.
Well, if you look at it now, I mean, look the way that things are nowadays. Violence is on the rise.
Violence is not on the rise. Violence is not. By the way, I hate to tell you this. I hate to tell you this because we had the survey and we read the statistics and the methodology on the air. But violent crime has been down over the last 20, 25 years. And that has largely been attributed, if you can believe this, to Roe versus Wade, when people were allowed to get legal abortions, when less unwanted children were being born, when those children of that generation grew up, there was less violence.
Right. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, why do you think the divorce is on the rise?
Well, first of all, I don't agree that it's on the rise. I think it was on the rise and is pretty much plateauing at this point. I don't think there's any more divorce today than there was 10 years ago, for example.
I agree.
You don't? No, that's totally false.
No.
Oh, come on, you just gave
No, don't base it on me. Just because I've gotten divorced 3 times in the last 20 years doesn't mean...
Let's be truthful here. You know it's been on the rise, and if you don't want to admit it on your show...
No, divorce... Again, Adam, you don't understand what I'm saying. Divorce, between 1950 and 1975, divorce went way, way up. But I think that between 1975 and now... There's still a lot of divorce, but I don't think there's more than there was in 1975. It's still about 1 in 2 marriages ending in divorce, which it's been for some time now.
Right. Well, no, I don't think your facts are right, but that's okay. I don't have
that's right. I'd love to hear your data, and you don't have any.
Well, you're just telling me that, too. You don't have data either. You're just
I do. 1 out of 2 marriages ends in divorce, and that has been the statistic for at least 20 years.
No, it hasn't. It's gone higher. I mean, Tom, give me a break.
Well, when you've got the proof, you call in. Meantime, shut up. 1-800-5800-TOM is our... I just get tired of those guys who call up and talk out of their ass. It drives me crazy. Morgan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
You did it, not me.
Hey, Tom, how are you today?
Doing great, Morgan.
Well, okay, the way that I see it is if, these city people want to attack anybody that has any type of moral high ground issues, they might as well rip down all the other billboards that talk about tobacco, abortion, religion, and just get rid of all those that are trying to influence me in my everyday life.
Right. It's called freedom of speech. They're censoring.
Exactly. And one other thing, Corey, you know, it's kind of upsetting that they took this billboard down, but would you agree that you're getting even more publicity now than you would if they left it up?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would have continued to keep getting publicity since everybody loves the campaign. But, yeah, I would probably agree with that.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for taking my call.
Thank you.
1-800-5800-TOM. Here is Cynthia on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi there.
Hi.
I have one word for you. Christians.
What?
I think it's Christians. I think it's the fundamentalist right wing. It's the people that think that it's all about family values, like the guy before you, and staying in these god-awful, horrible, miserable marriages under the guise of being religious and being, family values oriented and
holier than thou.
Holier than thou. And yes, we're better than you because we've stayed married to an alcoholic, horrible person that beats me and leaves my children, but we stayed married. I personally know somebody like that who's a Christian, and she just keeps praying that God will send him the message that he needs to be a better person. But I really believe that this is one of the fundamental problems in our society is that, we have this moral high ground that, people say...
Well, high ground in quotes. We're running out of time here. Corey Fettman, the law firm Fettman, Garland & Associates, the website FGALawfirm.com. Corey, thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Fundamental problems in our society is that, we have this moral high ground that, people say...
Well, high ground in quotes. We're running out of time here. Corey Fettman, the law firm Fettman, Garland & Associates, the website FGALawfirm.com. Corey, thank you for coming on with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
The Tom Leykis Show.